We are going to be going over Guild Wars in the open beta on Dungeon Hunter Champions. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining me for another Dungeon Hunter Champions video today. We are going to be going over Guild Wars in the open beta. If you're new to my channel, thank you for coming by. I'm XenaStar. I am a Twitch live streamer as well as a video game content creator here on YouTube, as well as a vlogger, or at least I'm trying to work on that side of things as well. So if you are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications to know when my videos go live. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back, love you. So in today's video, we are gonna cover some basic things about Guild Wars. So a lot of you guys will know a lot of the stuff I'm covering today, but for the newest person who is maybe new to Dungeon Hunter Champions, new to this style of gameplay, new to the idea of Guild Wars, I wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks and just walk you guys through how to do certain things, because I know for myself, running a guild on your own can be kind of confusing. Obviously you have officers to help you out. I think there's just some basic stuff we can go over that'll make your life a little bit easier. The first thing I want to go over is just some basics about the guild as a whole. So as you guys know, if you play DHC, you can create your own guild or join an existing guild. I am in Soup and I co-lead that with Claytano. I have some great officers as well that help run the guild. A couple different things. Obviously there's check-in rewards that you can get as long as 24 people check into the guild every day. You are good to get the max rewards. There are 30 open spots in every guild. You need at least 10 people in a guild to be able to register for Guild Wars. So make sure that if you have an existing guild that you get up to at least 10 players if you want to participate in Guild Wars. You have your own guild shop as well as guild chat, message of the day where you can send messages to people in the guild to view in the guild chat, obviously and the message of the day board so that people can see and you guys can stay communicating. My recommendation is not to use the guild chat as your main source of conversation with your guild. I would say either create some type of Discord server, or our guild uses the Line application and we have our own chat there. You can add infinite number of people to those, so it's a really great way for us to communicate outside of the game because we're not always logged into the game, so the guild chat can not be as helpful in that sense. As you can see here, there's a tab for members, so you can see all your members, the last time they logged in, and their guild contribution. Guild contribution is made up of a bunch of different things, but it's essentially how much you're playing the game, how much energy you're spending, how much you're fighting in arena, all that stuff, and it just contributes to seeing how much you play, really. In the early stages of building a guild, contribution is important because it's used for upgrades. So as your guild XP goes up based on your contributions, then you use it for upgrading your guild. We're already a level 40 guild, so in the beginning stages, you'll want to make sure that you monitor a contribution. You can also see the last time that people logged in, so if you have people that haven't been logging in for a bunch of days, you might want to reach out to them and make sure that they're still active and wanting to be a part of the guild. You also have daily rewards, so you can send gifts, collect gifts, all that kind of stuff. These tokens are used in your guild shop, so they are important, so make sure if you're in a guild that you do send gifts every day. You can see the guild shop here, there's a couple different items. The Boon Sister champion shards are available today because it's Sunday, and that's a great way for newer players to make up the difference if they're farming for shards, so very, very important, obviously champion slots. Also, you can see your guild ranking, so based on the BR of your guild, it will dictate where you sit in the guild ranking. As you can see, we are rank 18. And then also pending requests. So if you are building a brand new guild, any people that are requesting to join your guild will show up here. Little quick tip though for you guys, if you run a guild and say you know there's a player you want to have in your guild, and maybe they've left a previous guild and they're on a 3-hour cooldown, you can actually send them your own guild invite. So if we go over to the Friends tab, for example. So let's say I go to my Friends tab, I click Add Friend, and let's just say I typed in whoever that person's username is. They'll pop up. So let's say I wanted, let's see if there's any more XenaStars. Nope, no one else has taken my name. But so let's say you search for someone and let's say it's this person. I can click on this person's profile picture. Because our guild is full, it's not gonna show up, but generally speaking, down here, there will be a button where you can actually send them a guild invite. So obviously this is the button to add them as a friend, but in here there will be a guild invite because they don't have a guild. I can't do that right now because our guild is full, so I can't really show you guys the full effect of that, but it's a great way to just send an instant invite to them instead of having them wait on the cooldown or not knowing how to send a request on their end, especially for newer players. Okay, the next thing I want to just cover a bit about is Guild Wars. So as you guys know, Guild Wars is an open beta, so we get to register every week for Guild Wars. So there's a couple different things. So you go into your menu, and there's a couple things you want to consider when you're registering. Obviously, see the register button is here. All these buttons here on the side, obviously you can see the battle. So this would be like the most recent battle that happened between your guild and another guild. And you can see who used attacks, who didn't. So one of the things that I'm actually glad I'm shooting this video today because I'm changing up how we register for our guild and I'm gonna tell you guys why. And then you can also see the attack log. It'll show who fought who in the last guild war, if they won, if they lost. And as a, a guild leader, you can actually go in, well actually as just a guild member, you can go in and just see like, okay, how did that stack up? So when it comes to figuring out like what compositions work for what types of teams, this is actually a good way to see what other people in your guild are doing that's successful or not successful. So that's really cool. You can sort by guild attacks as well, and then my attacks, so I can see what I did in the last guild. Also, your war log is important too, so you can actually see the contribution based on wins, losses, and people that are actually using their attacks every week. And they have different contribution, dictates different amount of rewards, so you can see the different percentages of your rewards. So the rewards for every week are deluxe shards. So you can see here, based on where your guild ranks, we finished rank 20, which is awesome. So we finished Master 1, meaning we got a total reward of 6.47k deluxe shards. Now that's split up between your entire guild, so that's where you'll see the contribution. So based on someone's contribution to the guild wars, meaning they actually used their attacks, if they won, if they lost, that kind of stuff will dictate what your contribution is. So as you see, like some people 6, 6, 4, 5, I got 5% of contribution this week, so I was entitled to 5% of those shards, which is awesome. You can view your war history, so who you were paired up against. If you see a sword, then that means that you were fighting that guild. If you see a shield, that means you were defending against that guild. So you have really no control over that, other than when you're registering and setting up your defenses. That's where this is going to come into play for your defenses. And then ranking as well, you can see here, find my guild, obviously takes you right down, which is good. And then we went over rewards, so that's good. You can set your defense here. So what you'll see is I have my weird defense here. Don't pay attention to my defense. It's really weird and not the most successful defense, but it works. But you can view your defense log. And so what you can see is based on what you have put in place, who fought against it in your different defenses, if you won, if you lost. I've been just experimenting with weird stuff, so we're gonna ignore that for now. That's about it for defense though. And then you have your guardian. So your guardian gives you different skills in the guild battles, and basically you can change these and set these at any point. You have to use your guild tokens to unlock this. So I'm very conservative with how I use my guild tokens right now. I'm trying to get the gun mage, and we'll go over that in a minute. I have a lot of stuff to cover in this video, so I'm gonna do my best to try and keep this as short as I can. But yeah, what you'll see is there's different tier skills. So there are 5 tiers, and then there's also 5 different sets of skills that you can set, and then you just basically choose which skill you want to apply, set the skills, and then for the next guild battle you fight, those are the skills that will be in place. So the guardian you have no control over. They do their own thing, but you'll have a guardian as well as your defense that you're fighting against. So it's important for sure to have that set and figured out. We'll go into more detail on the guardian once I have the ability to actually unlock everything and show you guys all of that. I really just want to get myself one gun mage, and then we'll work on the guardian. Okay, so next thing I want to just cover really quick is registering your guild for Guild Wars. So as you guys see, there's a register button here. So Couple things that's important as a guild leader or as an officer for you to monitor throughout the week is who's actually using their attacks every week. Is there someone that is, you know, constantly not using them? Do you leave them out? Are they benched? But that should dictate how you register. So here's what I mean by that. So if I go to register, what you'll see, I can select up to 25 people to be on defense. So what I set as my number of defenses is how many people will also be able to attack in Guild Wars. So you need at least 10 people registered to be able to attack. As you can see here, 10 to 25 guild members that will defend the guild for the whole week. Only guild members with valid Guild War defense may be selected. So if they haven't set their Guild War defense, you won't be able to select them. And if they enter, so say you change players in midweek, so someone leaves your guild and a new person comes in, you won't be able to re-add that person into your defense until the next week when you register. So the one thing I plan to do this week with our guilds is drop to 20. The reason being, we've had people not using attacks during the week, so rather than register all 25 and basically be rotating in and out 5 players that are not active with 5 other players that aren't active as much as we'd like them to be, this will help us be more in line when we're matchmaking with guilds that fit that criteria, and our fights will be just basically more in line with where we're at in terms of how active our guild is. So I'm gonna just register 20 people. If you have 25 active people that you can register, great. But I really wanna keep us in a position where we can actually win because we're paired up with guilds that will be able to fight against but also have most of our attacks used, because there's nothing worse than losing guild wars based on the fact that just people didn't use their attacks. So these are just some tips and things to keep in mind if you are a guild leader or an officer. Or if you're just a player too, because you might not know why your guild leader is making certain decisions. I think communication is like one of the most important things for guilds to have. So if you haven't really figured out a system for communicating, you really, really need to do that. So that would be like my top priority for anyone starting a guild. Okay, so once you have selected who is going to be on your defense for the week, all you have to do is go down here. So you can see I have 20 out of 25 members selected. I'm gonna click on register, and that's gonna set us up in the system to be matched with guilds and be able to actually start Guild Wars for the week. Once the server resets in 3 hours and 16 minutes, we'll be able to actually start our first Guild Wars. So I'm gonna click on register. And just a quick note for you guys too, if you look at your defender list, when you're actually doing Guild Wars during the week, it's not like if someone didn't get registered as a defender, they'll still be able to be registered as an attacker. So you don't have to worry about that. It just, whoever's on defense will be actually defending against other guilds. That's pretty common sense, but I feel like sometimes I just need to go through things step by step. Oh, something else I want to go over with you guys too, if you are a guild leader or an officer, this is important for you guys to know. So you can set join requirements for your guild. So not only is there the message of the day, I meant to go over this before, you can also go here and so you can see the name of the guild and everything. So you can change the name of your guild at any point. So here's where you're gonna enter your guild name and guild tag. So the guild name is the overall name of the guild. The guild tag is what's gonna show up as your guild when people click on your profile. Now, you can do membership options. You can make it private. Minimum BR of 85,000 is what ours is set at. Now, obviously, as I was showing you guys earlier, because you can send direct invites, you can override your membership options at any time. If, say, you decide to add someone to the guild, like for instance, if we were to add someone to the guild that was, 80,000 BR, I can override that just by sending them an invite. And then minimum player level, you can add in here as well. We don't have anything set. It's not, for us, it doesn't really matter. We're usually full. So yeah, so that's all you do. You click the edit button and you're good to go. I'm just gonna leave it because I don't wanna change anything. And then the last thing too, on this page, you actually have the leave your guild option. So you can do this. Are you sure you wanna leave the guild? Yes or no. That's how you guys would go about leaving a guild if you were gonna change to a different guild. And once the server resets, and we can, I'm gonna just walk you guys through registering for your first Guild War and what that looks like for getting people on attack. Okay guys, so it is server reset on Sunday now, so let's get into registering for our first Guild War of the week. I'll show you guys what that looks like. So if we go into Battlefield, go into our Guild Wars, what you guys are gonna see now, as long as you registered properly, is a declare war. You're gonna see a banner of war available. And that'll be available again in exactly 12 hours. So every 12 hours is when that's gonna be available to do the next war. If you close your guild war early, within those 12 hours, you're still gonna have to wait till that 12-hour mark passes. So you'll see here 11 hours and 57 minutes because we're just a couple of minutes past server reset. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and declare war. As you see right now, I have the ability to have 20 members attacking. So I'm just gonna go through here, remove a couple people that I know won't attack or are less likely to attack. And then we'll get into the first guild war. So once you have your attackers selected, you're just gonna go here, hit assign attackers, and then it will pair you up with your guild. So we are going to battle against Ultimatum, of course. That is fine for me though. So yeah, this should be pretty good. The last thing I wanted to go over with you guys before we wrap up this Guild Wars video, since it's been a little bit long, is just how I treat the shop. So this is subject to opinion, so I just want to give you guys my opinion on what you should use your guild tokens for. You'll see there's a lot of different options in the shop here, so I tend to make sure to buy, first and foremost every week, the 4-star max Fuzzle Puff. Because they're so rare in the game, I think it's really important to have, and it's easier to make 6-star champions when you have a bunch of 4-star max Fuzzle Puffs, and right now I have a bunch of 6 stars that I need to create. So that would be the first thing that I would spend my tokens on. My next thing that I spend on is the Gun Mage tokens. Obviously I can't purchase anymore right now. Right now I have 60. I'm hoping to get my first Gun Mage in the next couple of weeks. So that would be my next spending focus for my points. And then next to that, I would work on my Guardians. So that's really in my account, the order of priorities for me. I mean, you can get whatever you want. Obviously, I just think for progression purposes that the Star Fuzzle Puff is really, really important. And I think getting the Gun Mage is going to be really, really important moving forward, especially with Guild Wars. So, you know, we haven't seen any Gun Mages yet in Guild Wars because they haven't been out long enough and we haven't had enough time to get enough coins to get a Gun Mage. So I'll have mine in probably like 2 weeks or so, 2-3 weeks. And then we'll get to play around with that and see what that looks like. The last thing, I keep saying this is the last thing, but I just want to touch on this really quick. One of the important things that you'll see too here is each tower has a different value assigned to it. So for here, you'll see, so the BR just means how much battle rating that specific tower has based on the units they put in. So if you click on it, you'll see like it'll be the first round and the second round combined. And then what you'll also see is a +3, a +2, a +1, or a +0. And what that means is when you hit those towers, based on if you win, you'll get your dedicated amount of guild tokens +1 on each round, or +2 on each round, and +3. So what we do in our guild, just to keep things fair, obviously to help maximize our attacks and make sure that people are spreading their attacks on different towers, because it's overall lowering the overall HP of the guild. So if you take out just one tower, that's not going to be enough of a reduction. So what we make sure everyone does is they focus on only taking a maximum of 6 extra points. So what that means is if I was going to hit towers that have bonuses, then I would want to make sure to only hit a +1, a +2, and a +3 tower. Combined, that's 6 points. Or I could go 2 +3 towers, and then I could go over here and do a 0 tower, or 3 2 +2s, whatever combination makes up 6 or less. That way it just keeps us basically hitting even across the board. We want to make sure that not everyone's just taking all the +3 towers out, farming all the points, but then we lose the battle because we haven't actually hit enough towers and lowered the HP of those towers. So that's essentially just some tips and tricks on Guild Wars and just a bit of a walkthrough. Obviously it's still in beta mode. There's probably gonna be adjustments to any, you know, bugs or glitches that are in the system right now. But overall, I am enjoying Guild Wars so far. Anyways, guys, if you have any other tips and tricks that you wanna leave down below, just drop a comment. I think moving forward it'll be helpful to just know like what your guys' strategies are in terms of like what do you buy in the shop, or like what do you focus on for your guardian tower. So just let me know in the comment section down below. And that's all I have for you guys today for a video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment down below with any feedback you have about the video. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, as well as Twitch, and those links will be in the description down below. If you guys haven't yet downloaded the game, I'll have a link to that also in the description, and a link to the official Discord for Dungeon Hunter Champions, because that is super helpful if you guys have questions, especially Guild War related questions, or really anything in terms of the game. I'll also have my own personal Discord down below where you guys can jump in and hang out, and we also talk a lot about Dungeon Hunter Champions there. Alright, so this has been a long video, so hopefully you guys have stuck around. I will catch you guys in my next video, and I'll be off to Japan in just over a week, so I can't wait to bring you guys more content and more adventures from that trip, so stick around for those videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to spread love and not hate. We'll see you soon. Peace!